people, it's me, Anja. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new Lisa Lynn's video. I feel like I just filmed a Lisa Lynn's video, so if you're wondering how my January reading month has been going, it's been going so well. January 2021, reading-wise, has been so much better than January 2020, both in quality and in quantity. So, anyway, the first book on this list is called Clues to the Universe, written by Christina Li. This book is a middle grade contemporary and follows two characters who become friends after they decide to help each other. One of them is going to help the other find his father, and the other one is going to help her build a rocket. This book is so well done. I absolutely fell in love with it. I fell in love with the characters, their voices, their friendship. This book is so good. I absolutely really enjoyed it. The plot kept me intrigued. The dual perspectives worked well together. I'm so excited to see what this author will write next in the future. I think that this story is her debut book, and honestly, it doesn't read like a debut book. You know what I mean? This book really said the someday suitcase who. You know what I mean? This book is so good. So with that, I rated it 4.5 stars, and I highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Light in the Lake. This book is also a middle grade contemporary, and I also rated it 4 stars because it was absolutely so good. It follows Addie after her brother's death and how she starts to investigate the creature in the lake that he was starting to find as well before his death. This book was so good. It really said the thing about jellyfish poo. This book is absolutely so good. I absolutely fell in love with Addie as a character. Her storyline, her arc, everything about her felt so realistic and just so well developed. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed the plot of the story, the setting, but it also talked about important topics as well. You know what I mean? And I just really enjoyed it. This story is so underrated, and for what? Because it's absolutely so good. It was so like heartwarming and also heartbreaking at times. You know what I mean? It was so fluffy and wholesome and just absolutely so good. So with that, I would highly recommend it because like I said before, I rated this book 4 stars. The next book is called What Stars Are Made Of. This book is also middle grade contemporary, and I also rated it 4 stars because it was absolutely so good. Actually, I think I rated this book 4.5 stars. But anyway, it follows Libby, who has tunnel syndrome, and her tunnel syndrome makes it hard for her to navigate through life, especially when her sister is pregnant and she worries about the baby. This book is so good. Libby as a character reminded me of Liberty from The Year We Fell from Space, which was one of my favorite books from last year, so that's such a high compliment. But she also kind of reminds me of Hazel from Hazel's Theory of Evolution. Basically, Libby felt like such a realistic, somewhat relatable character, and I love her voice. Her voice really drove this story home. This story is so underrated, and for what? And also, the disability representation in the story popped off. We love to see it. This story and the plot and the characters and the disability rep just popped off because this story is absolutely so good. So with that, I gave it 4.5 stars. And also, I'd like to apologize for all the background noise in this video, but I can't control it. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. It's absolutely so good. The next book on this list is called All Years Maybe, written by Lynn Solomon. This story is YA contemporary, and I ended up giving it 4 stars because it was absolutely so good. It follows a pair of best friends whose lives and friendship all forever changed when Sophie gives her kidney to Peter. This book was so well done. I've read 2 books previously by Lynn Solomon, You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone, and Today, Tonight, and Tomorrow, so I had pretty high expectations before going into this book, but I would say that this book definitely reached those expectations, even though it did not exceed those expectations. You know what I mean? I enjoyed this book more than I enjoyed You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone, but not more than I enjoyed Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. You know what I mean? But basically, I am so excited for Rachel's next book. I think it comes out in June. I'm not completely sure on that. But basically, this story is so well done. The romance was so fluffy, and it was so cute. The dual perspectives worked well together. I really enjoyed their friendship. I really enjoyed the two characters. Peter's bisexuality representation was so wonderful and just so lovely. The Jewish representation was also so lovely. This book is so underrated, and for what makes it absolutely so good. And Lynn is such a wonderful, talented YA contemporary author. So with that, like I said, I rated this book 4 stars, and I highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called You Have a Match, written by Emma Ward. This story is YA contemporary, and it follows Abby, who discovers a secret sister and a new love through a summer she'll never forget. I enjoyed this book. I ended up rating it 3.5 stars. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't find myself really invested in the romance or anything like that. I did enjoy the sister storyline. That was nice and solid. But like, this book wasn't super like superb or amazing or like heartbreaking or anything like that. It was just a nice, cute, fluffy, solid YA contemporary story. You know what I mean? I did personally prefer it to Tweet Cute, but not by much. You know what I mean? Like, I rated this story 3.5 stars, and I rated Tweet Cute 3 stars. You know? So this book by no means didn't disappoint me, but like, it was exactly what I expected it to be. Because I was expecting it to be a 3-star read, and it was. So yeah, there's that. The next book on this list is called Her Name in the Sky, written by Kelly Quindlen, who wrote Late to the Party, which was one of my favorite books of last year. So I had high expectations before going into this book, and I would say that this book reached my high expectations, but it didn't exceed them. You know what I mean? I rated this book 4 stars because it was really good. It follows Hannah, who's in her last year of high school, and she just wants to spend her last semester going to football games, going to parties with her friends, but she unexpectedly falls in love with a girl who's also her best friend. So that's fun. This book is so good. I absolutely really enjoyed it. Kelly Quindlen's writing is just so lyrical and eloquent. It reminds me of like Jennifer Niven, Nina LaCour, Elizabeth Acevedo. You know what I mean? This book is so good, and this story is so underrated. The sapphic romance was so well developed. I really also enjoyed the religious representation in the story. As a person who's not Catholic, I can't really speak on it, except to say that I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Only because most of the time when I'm reading YA contemporaries, they tend to be secular. You know what I mean? But basically, this story was so good. This story and how much I enjoyed it definitely raises my expectations for She Drives Me Crazy, which is Kelly Quindlen's next book that I think is coming out in May. I don't really remember. But anyway, I rated Her Name in the Sky 4 stars. The story is so underrated, and for what? So I highly recommend it if you're looking for a nice, solid, sapphic YA contemporary story. The last book on this list is called The Girl with the Ghost Machine, written by DeStefano. I think that's how you say it. Basically, this story is a middle-grade paranormal fantasy, and it follows a girl who recently lost her mom. So her dad makes a machine that could bring back her ghost. This book is so good. I really enjoyed the world building. I really enjoyed the intriguing plot. The characters were well developed. The main character felt fairly realistic. I had somewhat low expectations for this story because I've read previous books by this author. I've read her Glass Spell duology, I think that's what it's called. And I've read like the Curious in Between or whatever that book is called. So basically, after reading this book, I'm intrigued enough to continue reading her other middle grade stories. You know what I mean? I typically don't love paranormal fantasies because I personally don't believe in ghosts. So it's hard for me to like fall in love with the world building if I can't actually visualize it because I don't believe in ghosts. But this book was solid. It was really good. I rated it 3.5 stars. It was a nice, solid story. You know what I mean? So with that, like I said, I rated it 3.5 stars. So yeah, I apologize for this review because it's kind of all over the place, but that's how it be on my channel. So yeah. So in conclusion, the highest rated books on this list were What Stars Are Made Of and Clues to the Universe, because those two are the ones that I enjoyed the most. And the one book that I enjoyed the least was You Have a Match, because honestly, I want to continue reading from all of these authors except for Emma Lowell. So with that, if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below your opinions on any of these books if you've read them. If you haven't read them, comment down below why you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!